You're watching the Commissioner's Report. I'm your host, Kevin Watler, and during this first segment, we're going to get to know Polk County's newest commissioner, Bill Braswell. How are you doing today, sir?
Great. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. So it's good to be here. You're a brand new commissioner for the county.
Yep, I am.
So tell me a little bit of where you came from and, where you grew up.
Grew up here in Bartow, right over on Stewart Street. Lived here all my life and went to school here. Went up to what was then Polk Community College and off to University of Florida in Gainesville.
And what did you study over at UF?
I got a degree in agronomy, which is basically farmers' plant science.
Farmers. So, why did you choose that as your degree?
Back in those days, citrus was really going great, and ag was a good field to be in. It seemed like a good choice at the time, and so I pursued it.
And I believe right after that, you spent some time in the Air Force?
Yeah, I made the logical transition to become a pilot in the Air Force.
So tell me about some of your Air Force experience.
It was all a blast. It was the best thing I ever did. I loved every minute of it. I spent about 8 years on active duty. I was in Texas for pilot training, stuck around there a little bit. Then I went up to Scott Air Force Base, Illinois, flew C-9s, which is just basically an airline DC-9 configured as a hospital. And our mission was moving patients all over the world. And the real reason I went in the Air Force was to see the world, and it certainly gave me the opportunity to do it.
I wanted to share with me some of your most memorable experiences while, serving in the Air Force.
Well, there were a lot. I flew C-5s after that in the reserves. I got to do a lot of the Desert Shield, Desert Storm stuff, spent a lot of time in the Middle East, saw a lot of crazy things. But, there's just so many good experiences. It was really amazing.
Mm-hmm. And right after that, you went into the commercial airline industry?
Yeah, I got out of when I got off active duty, I went and worked for Delta Airlines. I spent 20 years there. And of course, at the same time, I was doing the Air Force Reserves simultaneously. And then that led into, a few years later, blueberries.
Yeah, so somehow you ended up being a farmer.
Right.
How did that happen?
It all came full circle, yeah. When I was flying for Delta and still in the reserves, I started a blueberry farm, small, and it just took off, and the timing was great. It was back in 2000, and we just had a couple of acres, and we were doing well, and expanded it, and next thing you know, it took over my life. That's what I really enjoyed doing. So I retired from the airlines. I retired from the Air Force, and I've been doing it full time since. And I love every minute of it.
So what's it like as a blueberry farmer?
Well, first of all, everybody loves talking about blueberries. So it's not like I'm growing corn or something that people really don't identify with. Everybody knows about the health benefits. They love talking about them. Kids love them. Parents love them. They love to give them to their kids. So it's always fun. I've been real active in the National Blueberry Association, and we've got a lot of things coming. A lot of good research that tells you all the good things that are in blueberries. And again, it's just a fun thing to do, and it's something that people really enjoy.
And what are some of the challenges with the whole entire blueberry farming?
Right now, it's competition. When I started this, the Florida market window was 2 months. We made great money, a lot of opportunities there. Since then, the South Americans have gotten in the deal, and the Chileans are really putting the pressure on us. Mexico is starting to put the pressure, and the newest one is Peru. These countries are just pumping out blueberries that are not necessarily hitting the middle of our market window, but they're definitely getting in our market window, and that really drives the price down.
Gotcha. And blueberries in general is not a cheap thing.
They're not cheap at the retail level. They get pretty cheap for the farmer. Part of the problem is it's a hand-picked crop, and that's very expensive. And labor costs just go up, and that's a challenge for us to try to keep them down.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. And do you do any other type of farming other than blueberry?
No, just blueberries. We've got a little farm next to our house where we're trying all kind of different things. I think every farmer in Florida is looking for the next new crop, and everything anymore is geared around health. And so we've got some ideas. We've got a few things growing to see how well they do, how well we can produce them. But as far as making a living, we're just blueberries.
Yep. So somehow you came from blueberry farming into politics. How did that happen?
Well, I'm involved with a lot of national farming organizations, and I was in Washington, and I believe I was talking with the vice president of American Farm Bureau, and basically he said, if you guys want to take control of your industry, you need to get involved in politics and get involved and active politically. Being a county commissioner, that's not really a national involvement in politics, but it's a start, and I thought it was a good start.
And being the whole entire campaigning, that could not have been an easy thing.
No, it's not real pleasant. You have to go, everything costs money. If you're going to send a letter out, you have to pay postage, so you got to raise money, and that means you got to go ask people for money, and that doesn't come natural to me. It's just an unpleasant thing that you have to do, but we did it. We raised money, and we got the message out.
And you obviously did something right because it was your first time running and you were elected to office.
Yeah, it was the first time I ever thought about politics. And, I think being from Polk County, understanding Polk County, being here all my life, people can relate to that and know I understand the issues or some of the issues in Polk County. And I'll certainly be here for the rest of my life. So I thought it was a natural choice.
And what are some of the challenges you faced so far since being a county commissioner?
Well, knowing all the issues is definitely a challenge because there are thousands of issues. Everybody has an issue. Everybody wants something different. And there's only so much money to do it. And so it's a balancing act. You got to figure out, where's the money best spent and how are more people going to be served with whatever the issue is and how you spend the money.
Why are you the right person for the job?
Well, like I said, I'm from Polk County. I know the history of Polk County. I know the people of Polk County. I love it here. I want to see it do good. I mean, it really gets down to you want to see the county do well, because ultimately, I want my granddaughter to grow up, stay in Polk County, because Polk County has everything she wants. She can go to college here. She can get a good job here. She can stay here all her life, and that's ultimately my goal.
And what are some of the things that you're so passionate about that you're going to try to put a lot of focus on?
Well, like I said, there's so many of those issues. I just want to see Polk County grow smartly, managing our growth. We can't jam everybody into one place if we don't have roads. We have to have schools. We have to have all the infrastructure. We have to it's keeping the quality of life high. That's the real goal here. And like I said, it's tough to do, and you only have so much money, but we're working at it.
Perfect. And I know you told me you're going to start trying to be as interactive as you can with the public. And one of the things you plan on doing is doing video blogs.
Sure. Yeah.
Why do you feel that's necessary?
Well, when I was campaigning, I got on Facebook and did a couple of videos on Facebook, and I was blown away. I did one video, I think 17,000 people watched it like within 2 or 3 days, and that showed me how effective communicating through Facebook is and through all this other social media, and I just think it's very effective and it's inexpensive.
Yeah, absolutely, and people love to see who's representing them, and you want to keep them informed the best you can.
You just got to keep it short. You just got to 60 seconds, 90 seconds. That's hard to do. You got to get your point across and be done with it, and that's definitely a challenge, but I enjoy it.
And you're a person that likes a lot of technology.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I mean, you name it, from iPhones to GPS on tractors. I try to take advantage of it every way I can.
Mm-hmm. And you want to prepare the county for technology changes because it's changing all the time.
Well, not only that, but if it's done right and applied in the right way, it's going to save money. It's going to save a fortune. I mean, just think of what cell phones have saved us, having to run to a payphone, interrupt your day, spend all this time going back and forth. Now it can be done, while you're driving down the road. So technology is our friend. We need to use it every way we can. We're not going to just go throw money into new technology that we don't need, but if it can save the county money, I'm all for it.
Absolutely. Now, I'll leave you an opportunity with some final remarks before we end this segment and then on to the next.
Well, I mean, first, I just want to thank everybody for voting. I mean, I appreciate the honor to serve Polk County. Like I said, it was never in my vision up until just recently. I enjoy it. You just can't believe the people in this county. That's one thing I've learned is you get a little cynical in life and you're thinking, maybe politicians aren't really looking out maybe they're looking out for themselves. And what I've found is so many people involved in government service really do want to make a difference. They really want to change things, and they want to make things better, and I just want to be one of those people.
Perfect. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem. That's it for this segment, but we do have more coming up next right after this break, so don't you go anywhere.
I love you.
Can we get strawberries?
Okay.
I'm doing my part. Are you doing yours?
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today I'm just an aluminum can, but one day I could be a stadium.
Welcome back to the Commissioner's Report. And this year, those who use the county's waste and recycling services will no longer have Republic doing pickups. I'm now joined by Anna Wood, who's the Waste and Recycling Division Director for the county. Welcome to the show, Anna.
Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Wonderful having you here to talk about the changes that's going to be coming up. I believe it's October the 2nd?
Yes, October 2nd, 2017.
Okay, so just let's talk about, before we get into some of the changes that are coming, why are changes coming? Let's talk about what's going on beforehand.
Well, in the industry as a whole, there are several, and I don't want to call it per se changes because our industry kind of evolves every so often. Sometimes we go back in time, sometimes we go back, we go into the future and back again. So in the industry right now, there's a lot of questions and the materials that are being generated for recycling. So I will say that the main change in our program is going to be when it comes to the materials that we harvest from the waste stream, the materials that we will be collecting from the waste stream that has the potential to be recycled.
Okay, and so what are some of the exact changes that's going on?
Okay, right now, as our audience knows, we have one service provider for the entire county. On October 2nd, we will have two companies doing the east and west portions of the county. Advanced Disposal will be doing the west portion, the east portion of the county, and FCC will be doing the west side of the county. The split in customers is about 65,000 to 75,000 each, and they will be actually collecting all the materials. They will be collecting garbage, yard waste, and recyclables.
Okay, and why do we need the changes?
Well, one of the principal reasons that we are changing is because the marketplace, there is not that much demand for certain materials, and not only the demand from an economical standpoint, but also because of the challenges that we are facing with the introduction of a lot of new materials into the marketplace. So every time a new material is created and replaces a traditional container, there's a lot of challenges in what to do with that material and the potential for that new material to be recycled.
Okay, and so we're also going to be doing a social media campaign to highlight a lot of what's going on.
Oh yes, central to all of the changes is a very aggressive media campaign that we are actually, we deployed that last year, but we continue to do. And it's going to actually touch almost every medium that our residents use to communicate. We're going to be using social media. We're going to be using print media. We are going to use commercials. We are actually going to be in talk shows. We are also have a very large section of our new media campaign is actually reaching out to our residents, literally going to the neighborhoods. So we will be contacting the homeowners associations in Polk County, in the unincorporated area of the county, and we will be asking them to put us in the agenda so we can go and talk to residents during the homeowners associations meetings. We will bring samples of the materials. We will have a question and answer portion of it. Each of the respective vendors will come to those meetings depending what the meetings are. So our residents will have an opportunity to meet the hauler before October 2nd, 2017. And also, so the contractor will have the opportunity to listen to our customers, to listen to the customers' needs, so to minimize any type of service issues come the new contract on October 2nd. So it is aggressive from the standpoint that our main objective and goal is to reach out to our residents, for them to feel comfortable coming to these meetings, asking questions, and the expectation is by the time October 2nd comes, there's going to be very little unknown from our residents. The more they know about the service level that we're providing, the better the relationship is going to be, the more we will be able to meet their needs.
So let's talk about some of the changes that's going to affect the residents.
The main change that is going to take effect October 2nd is, again, going back to the recycling, is the materials that we are harvesting from the waste stream. So right now, residents can put multiple materials in the recycling bin. One of them is glass. Come October 2nd, 2017, we will no longer be collecting or harvesting the glass from the residents.
And why no more glass recycling?
One of the key components of glass recycling is that glass is breakable, and when you are transporting glass from the house or from the bin to the truck, from the truck to the processing facility, from the processing facility to the final destination, is literally sand, and it also contaminates the fiber. Many times when you have cardboard and newspaper, which is referred as fiber materials, the pieces of glass get embedded into the fiber, and it makes it difficult for that product that is viable for recycling, like cardboard and paper. It becomes then contaminated, and sometimes we cannot use it to process to be recycled.
Okay. And in terms of space at the landfill, are we okay with space?
Oh yes, we are. The Borough County Commissioners have over 2,000 acres that has been assigned for future landfill in the county. We centrally located between Lakeland and Winter Haven. Out of the 2,000 plus acres, 800 acres have been earmarked for potential landfill. Of those 800 acres, we have utilized approximately 120 acres of landfill. So we have approximately, we'll say, between 60 and 70 years of potential landfill space. And I say potential because with technology changing, we don't know how waste is going to be managed 20, 30 years from now. Maybe something more sustainable can be done. But in case that we continue with landfilling, which right now is one of the most effective ways to manage solid waste, then we will have up to 60 to 70 years.
Okay. Perfect. Now, I believe you are also changing the height of the landfill levels?
Yes, we are. 6 months ago or 8 months ago, the Borough County Commissioners actually changed the height limits on waste management facilities, so the county was able to gain additional height. And the benefit to our resident, obviously, is if we have more height, we don't have to construct as many landfills. So that was a direct benefit to our customers, landfill customers, and ratepayers in the county.
And in terms of people following the rules, How do you think the county is doing with that? Or the residents doing? Are people doing or throwing the waste in the right things? And what are your thoughts on that?
Well, the waste, yes, it is, because waste is classified very, very clearly. Where we're having challenges and when there's a lot of opportunity for improvement is on the materials that we harvest that may have the potential to be recycled. So it's not that our residents do not follow the rules. I would say that it's more associated with the marketplace and how it changes. So sometimes if something can be recyclable or has the potential to be recycled today, tomorrow may not be. So that is the challenging aspect for policymakers, that we cannot change that quickly. So looking into the future and trying to analyze how the market is going to behave and look at the materials that are being generated, we made the decision, or the county commissioners made the decision to have a policy that reduces the amount of materials that we are harvesting, because they will have the most potential to become a new product in the future.
And where do people go if they want to know what's going on at the waste and recycling plant?
Well, they can go into the county website. They also can reach us directly at 863-284-4319, which is the office. And like I mentioned before, we are actually scheduling and very aggressively seeking, reaching out our homeowners associations and our residents associations that would like for me or any of my staff members to go and do presentations so they can gain more knowledge of the new changes coming on October 2nd, 2017.
Anything else going on in the background that the public should know?
Well, yes, there's a lot of exciting things going on. One is we actually expanding our facility within the 2,000 acres that we have. The footprint of our landfill is actually gaining 32 acres. We have a new landfill, and we just obtained the permit from the Florida Department of Environmental Protection to start operating that landfill. And what that means is that we, in the near future, maybe a month to 2 months from now, we're going to start placing waste in that new facility.
Okay, great. And I know this is kind of backing it up just a little bit, almost about a year, but the scale house also had some changes as well.
Yes, we continue to do changes at the scale house. One of the challenging aspects of our scale house is we have over 600 vehicles that come and use our facility, customers that go through the scale, and we have to record every transaction. So sometimes when we get an influx of vehicles, sometimes there's a little bit of waiting time at the scale house. So we actually going in and trying to automate certain portions of the scale house where a customer that is routinely comes to the landfill and has an account with us may not have to go through the window and stop and get the ticket and then on the way out to stop again. So we're trying to see how we can incorporate technology to ensure that our customers have a pleasant experience when they come and visit us at the landfill.
Okay, perfect. Now, is there anything that I didn't ask you that you think that I should have asked you?
You have asked most of the questions, but again, the key part that I would like our residents or our viewers to take from this interview is the fact that we will be reaching out to you. We know that you work 8 to 5, so we actually are accommodating, we will be accommodating our customer schedule. So if they need us to go to a homeowners association meeting at 7 o'clock at night, we will be there. If they want us at 6 o'clock in the morning, we will be there. We are here to serve them, and we will be accommodating their schedule to ensure that everybody gets the message. Reach out to us. Our phone number again is 863-284-4319. They can call us Monday to Friday. They can also reach us via our website, county website, send messages to us. We will respond immediately, and the key here is we are here to serve them. And it doesn't matter the time, whenever they can accommodate us, we will be there to deliver the message of the new contract, to bring the haulers with us so they can meet the new service providers, and to ensure that our residents, again, have a good experience about the change. We want to minimize as much as possible any type of hiccups that can happen, which sometimes it happens automatically once you go from one company to another. So we're working very closely with our new haulers to minimize the impact to our residents. I believe that the change that the residents are going to notice the most is in the recycling area. We will we will not be collecting glass come October 2nd, 2017. We're going to be limiting the type of plastics that we are going to be harvesting from the waste stream. And the reason for that is some of the new plastic products that are being generated have multiple types of plastics, and that makes it very difficult to recycle. So a lot of times they will end up in somebody else's landfill. So our goal is to minimize the work that our residents or our customers will be doing, from the standpoint that it's no sense for a customer go and rinse something or put something in the recycling bin that is not recyclable. The other change that is going to happen is we are going from the yellow bin into a cart, 65-gallon container that will facilitate the transportation from from your house to the curb to our residents. They will have the option to use this new container, minimize litter, and ensure that the residents have a better service.
Okay, well, fantastic. Well, just about out of time here. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much. I do appreciate your time. Thank you.
No problem. And that's it for this Commissioner's Report. We'll see you next month.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise and be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
From this angle, it all makes a star.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore. And frustration, a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy, and giving up impossible.
And then we're going to turn on the lights and everybody look up.
I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought.
What's your reaction? Yeah, exactly.
And unconventional methods
Okay, what else?
common.
This is their world.
Then they die. Go ahead, go.
I'm a teacher.